Hi guys, welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you who are new, I am Nicole. Welcome. Excited to have you with me. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. I'm super excited that you decided to join me again. This reading is going to be for the month of September for Cancer. So Cancer, this is going to be for your moon, your sun, your rising, and your Venus. So take the messages as they come. Be discerning. It may be for you, it may not be for you. Remember that not every reading is for you. But of course, if you like and subscribe to the channel, you're going to get notifications as to when those new readings are posted. And then that way, the next one may very well be for you. Who knows, right? So we'll see. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive in. So excited. Okay, excited to have you guys. Thank you. I'm going to do a couple mantra cards for you guys. I live by mantras. I love them. I think they're super helpful. They help open our eyes to things. They're a reminder to us in many ways. So let's see. Spirit for September for Cancer, please. Spirit for September. September for Cancer. All right, let's see what comes out for you guys. Whew. Golly, that one came out in a big flip. All right. All right, get you a couple messages. Okay, so the first one is demystifying the darkness, and it says, my shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent. And then the second one is untangling neglect, and it states, I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. So for me, all right, I feel like you're stepping outside of your shadow self, or you're recognizing things about the shadow side of yourself. We understand where we've been toxic to ourselves, or we've potentially been toxic to others. And, you know, your shadow is, you know, I've said this before in videos, your shadow can be your absolute best friend, and it can also be your worst enemy. It's going to decide on what it is that you want to do with that energy. Our shadow is always going to show us what it is that we need to work on within ourselves. And if it's, you know, finding ourselves in a state of fear, or, you know, failing to nurture ourselves in the process and things like that. So, and it's saying that I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. And to me, this particular card is letting you know that what you need is already within you. And that's very important. Like, you know, you don't have to seek the outside approval to other, you know, through other people or whatever, you know, surrounds you externally. It's about what's already within you here, right? Anchoring the light. The light is always within me. And then I'm just, excuse me. I'm like, I had coffee and I'm like all weird. Okay, anyhow. Overcoming fear, I will transcend every loss. You know, the fear, like, even though I usually wouldn't pull these as extras, anchoring the light and overcoming fear. Make sure that you're taking an objective look at the heart space as to why maybe certain situations in your surrounding energy is becoming bothersome to you, or there's light being shed from the shadow side to that. So let's dive in. I'm using what's called the Psych deck. It's a little different. It's not a tarot. It's not an oracle, in my opinion. But this one seems to resonate with me the best, even when I'm doing personal stuff here as well. So let's see for Cancer, September, please. The road, Spirit's saying the road has been long and hard for you guys. I've got the Warrior card. Feeling tied down to certain aspects of things around you, knowing that it's time to take a new direction as well. You feel, to me, as there's some apprehension to moving from that space that you've been in for a while. You may be feeling stuck in various ways. To me, I'm also hearing from Spirit, somebody is wisening up. I'm going to go ahead and clarify a little bit before I go any further on these. So that Warrior, you know, he's stood strong. He's stood in his own. He's moved mountains. He's, you know, defeated the things that were defeating him at one point. He's built things out of next to nothing. He had nothing at one point, and yet here he is doing this, you know. And through this, I feel like there's a lot of pain and heartbreak. I'm going to say to you also, this reading seems a little weird to me right off the bat, and we're going into Mercury retrograde, so there we go. Three of Swords, the Devil underneath that, the Queen of Swords. Some other people around you may feel like you've been a little bit heartless at times, that you're struggling with the heart space, but it's like, you know the pain and the strife that you have been through to get to where you are. And it may be making you feel like you're being alone, or the desire to be alone, like kind of wanting to corral yourself and go into a bubble that feels like a safety net for you. Like you're just like, it's like, I'm not ready to come out and play is what Spirit's saying. I'm not ready to come out and play yet. Maybe you thought that you were at one point, and now the heart is like, no, because we still have these unresolved griefs that need to be addressed. Got the Prison card sitting here. He's lacking. He's feeling empty. This card often reminds me of the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. Feeling sorrowful. Maybe living in a space of regret, remorse, some guilt. But there's a shadow of light that's coming through, and I go back to that initial card. My shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent, and this light, and I'm going to show you, is being shown on him, right? The light is asking him to see the brighter side of himself, understanding where it is that you were, where you're going, that you're not in lack. You may be in a place where it's time to refill your cups just through yourself and yourself alone. Oh gosh, and okay, I'm trying to get one card, Spirit, one card, please. And it's throwing me everything under the sun here. One card. But I do feel Chariot, Cancerian energy right there. And right beside that, I have the Fool in this particular deck. Again, forward movement. Like this may have been a space that you were already in. This may be a space that you're in now. This may be a space that's coming for you of this stuck feeling. But I do feel like movement is coming. Balance is coming into play. 7, you're going to defend your spot. Again, going back to that Warrior card, 9 of Cups, because I do believe that Judgment. Like you do believe that what does make you happy. What makes your heart soar. What feels right to you. And now it's time to go after it. It's if you some of you may be doing some traveling. Some of you may be seeking outside or spiritual guiding as well. Trying to find that balance, letting things balance up. Let's clarify the Full 5 of Wands. There may be people around you who are disagreeing with the choices that you're making, and I also feel like some of this disagreement is also coming internally, going, well, if I do this, then this could happen. If I do that, that could happen. We cannot live our lives based on the facts of what ifs. We can, I always people, you can do whatever you want to do, but how, again, always my statement, how is that serving your highest good? The Sage and the Emperor, both very, very powerful, knowledgeable individuals. Tower underlying that so now it's kind of like, maybe everything that you thought you had figured out is not as you thought it would be, or as you've seen it coming. Again, we go back to the fact that we're in the age of Aquarius, a lot of unknowns, where it's like always expecting the unexpected, knowing that, just because we thought it was going to be a certain way does not mean that it is going to be or reach that expectation of what it was that we had for a given situation. So interesting stuff there. No. You got a lot of third party energy. You got literally 3, 3, 3, 3. I feel like you're being boxed in by somebody, by their opinions, by what you thought you knew, how you thought this was going to be. Like I feel like you're being boxed into something in particular. Somebody may be questioning your loyalty to them as well. Get the Page of Swords to clarify the no, and the 6 of Swords. I'm hearing I knew you would leave. I knew you would leave. So, but there's also stuff behind the scenes, the Moon, again, some more Cancerian energy, that it's like, I feel like this person had doubts to begin with. And the person with doubts may be you, this may be a cross watcher, but there was doubt attached to the whole thing somehow. But there's also a feeling of remorse to that doubt. Like, well, maybe I created this, I manifested this without even realizing that this is what I was doing. It's like, what makes sense? Page of Swords, a lot of thinking energy. What makes sense here? I don't see enough cups on the table. I don't see enough emotional energy. You may be in a very logical headspace rather than feeling what it is that you need to feel as a result of this. So let's take another look here. All right, we've got now, never. So now is always my card of action. Never is a card of bickering for me. Skills, addressing what you're capable of, and then money. Again, moon energy underneath that. You're seeing rewards for the pain and suffering that you have dealt with in the past, and it's coming forward now. Now is the time for this. Like, you're reaping what it is that you've dealt with. You're seeing growth happen in many areas of life. But I also feel, and you've got that never card, which to me is very much an argument, a fight, and right above that we've got the Five of Wands sitting there. It's easy, when I'm looking at this, the way it's coming through, you've got some. I'm gonna kind of go back over this a little bit. So I've got these two pillars on two separate cards that are laying here: the Prison and the Chariot. Six pillars coming back around, and then maybe deciding that what you thought was for you is not for you. Internal conflict as well. Moving away from the conflict, but yet moving into the conflict in the same breath. We have the Skills card, Emperor, and the Sage. Again, knowledge, learning, understanding. What are we gaining through this situation? Like, I almost feel like it's a bit of a stalemate between two people that may think that they've got it all figured out as well. Because the Emperor, to me, it is not you. This is somebody else that you're dealing with. So they have an idea of how this was supposed to work. I'm hearing that they may be waiting. I also feel like if they said fuck you to you, don't be surprised. And I'm sorry it comes across that way, but to me, it's like an underlying seething anger, even though, like, you've got that Five of Wands with the Emperor. Because I know this reading seems a little like all over the place, and I apologize. The energy coming in is it's confusing to me. It's like, I don't know, it seems chaotic. So I'm giving you guys what Spirit's given to me here as we go through this. But it's like, this whole energy between these two people seems to be conflictual. It seems to be an internal fight with the self. And it is also very much like, I can independently do this on my own. I don't need you. So that to me is like understanding, somebody may be coming in trying to offer some sort of stability, some type of growth. Autumn very much sticks out for me. So this to me is like, maybe what you thought was going to work has become very barren all of a sudden to you. And that can be some exhausting energy as well. Like, I feel like some of you are also securing finances and funds for a rainy day kind of thing as well. So let's do a little bit of clarifying on these guys and see what comes up. I'm doing this spread very, very differently than any of the ones I've done before, but this is what I'm feeling drawn to do. And I know that it's coming across a little confusing and such. Honestly, it's making my head spin. Like, I feel a little like discombobulated as a result. King of Cups, finally seeing some Cups energy. The Empress and the Page of Cups. Oh my. With the Hangman. Options in love. Options in love. You may have two people that are vying for your attention and affection. One presents themselves as to be very stable, very grounded, working their way up to that Emperor status. The other side of it is like very young, very youthful, very open. And here you are sitting in the midst of this going, what do I do? Where do I go? One person is coming in going, I'm ready. I'm ready right now. The other person being you here in the center, the Empress energy, that internal conflict. I've got, again, the Skills and the Never card. Internal conflict, fighting with yourself on what feels right, where your new life begins, where things become fertile again for you. Money and the Page of Cups with the Skills card. Someone's trying to prove their value and their worth to you They may be showing you things. See what I'm capable of. I've built a great space for myself. But they're making this offer of like an emotional sense, and I don't know that your heart space is ready for that either. So let's again continue forward, guys. Got the stars. So this person that's trying to put themselves into an emperor status with you, this was meant to come back around. This was meant to show you something, the way things line up. It was meant to, give me one second. Okay. It was meant to show you certain things about yourself, about that shadow side. They are meant to be a lesson for you. But because both of you over the years, over the time that you've spent together, you've both changed. And I feel like you're seeing both of these people in an equal sight of desire. It's very much a desirable energy. But where do you invest that time and energy into? You've got 22, which breaks down to a 4, 22 being a master number, 26 breaks down to an 8. Infinitely goes back around. Guys, I apologize if you can hear that thudding. Somebody must be out there with their bass up. Good stuff. But there's still that stuck stalemate energy. Do I go back to the past or do I move forward to the future? There's conflicting energy to how that works for you. All right, guys, let's do some more clarifying. Let's clarify the stars and the wheel. I feel like your emotions are just suspended. They're just suspended. Like everything has just stopped turning. It wants to shift, it wants to align, but you're in the stuck stalemate kind of energy. All right, 6 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles. I don't envy you. I don't envy the choices that are at hand here. I'm going to tell you this. You got one side that's looking with the 3 of Pentacles. They want to work with you. They want to create stability. They're great and easy to work with. On the flip side of that, you've got somebody who wants to give to you. They want to exchange energies with you. They're a little more evolved in that sense and in reciprocity. The underlying to that is 10 of Pentacles, the Justice card, the Strength, Death card underneath that. Oh my God. 2 of Pentacles, those choices. So I usually don't take all of these, but I am totally going with it. You may be finding yourself in a place where you just don't know what to do, weighing your options, which side is going to be the most beautiful and fluid for me. Knowing that things will have to change and transform from where you're at right now. It's finding the courage to do it. Understanding that balance will be restored so that you can reach your 10 of Pentacles. And honestly, I feel like either space, I don't feel like you can make a wrong decision. I really don't. Like, you're headed to something that is greater than you regardless. And either way, it's going to be fine. You can't, I don't know how I can say it, you can't make a wrong decision. You can't make a wrong choice. You're seeking your stability, but make sure the person that you're dealing with is honest in what stability they bring to the table. So let's see here, Spirit. You may be walking away from both options. You may be walking away from both options because I feel like you need time. Yeah, you got 2 cards of moving away. Liberation, the voyage, and the body. And let's clarify liberation. Like you're very much in the mental headspace, trying to decide. Like you're waiting for something. And what exactly you're waiting for, I'm not sure. But you're like, in the meantime, while I'm waiting, I'm not going to sit still. I'm going to keep moving forward. So if this pertains to love, which is really how it feels to me, yeah, 7 of Cups. What option? Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, 7 of Cups. To me, you understand that you've got options and choices in love. You understand where your passion, your desire burns to where it is that you want to be and where you want to go to. Queen of Cups, you know that you have a lot to offer, but it's like, who is truly worthy of the love that I have to give? Because I've dealt with this pain to get to where I'm at to this point, and yet I'm not sure. Do I want freedom? Do I want passion? Do I want love? Do I want light? Do I want to see growth? There's all these different things, and it's like, who's going to come in here? And of the 7 cups, of all the pretty things that come from these 7 cups in this particular deck and the Gilded Tarot, who's going to give all of those to me because I'm willing to give to them? And I honestly feel like there may be a moment where you just kind of disconnect from all the energy around you at this time because you're stuck in these needs and choices. But, I feel like you're holding back on what it is that you want to do. But I think in 3 to 6 weeks, So you're maybe looking at the end of September to, the beginning to close to middle of October. For a little while, I feel like you may be holding on to something from the past, Four of Pentacles, something that had some foundation to it, grasping onto that, holding on to it, clinging to an idea. And then you've got the Lovers moving into the Page of Pentacles and the Two of Wands, where it's like, I feel like somebody may almost retract their offer to you of stability, and that's going to send you both on two separate paths in due time. Very, very interesting reading. And this spread, the way I've done this, I'm gonna tilt this down. Can I tilt this down? I don't know if you can see this spread here. Very, very different from anything I've ever done before. So I just feel like, this reading I thought was going to be a little wild when I first opened it up, and I'm sorry if it comes across confusing to you, but the energy around this whole reading is very confusing because it's hard. There's a whole lot of internal conflict and understanding how to make a decision. I said to you earlier, like, I feel like you're caught between two, and then you've got the Seven of Cups that rolls out there at the end. Choices, options. But with these cups, it's like, who's got it all? Who's got their shit entirely together? You got an Emperor up here who I think they do for the most part, but there's some seething resentment underneath the surface with this Emperor in your life. And of course, male or female, we don't have gender roles per se in that regard. Let's get you guys some advice though. Golly. Interesting reading, Cancer. Very interesting. 3 to 6 weeks though, I think, is when you're going to start to see something shifting and changing. All right. Woo. What you want wants you. That card comes out so often. Inspiration and spirals of manifestation. So I would say to you, be very clear about what it is you want. And I know we're going into Mercury retrograde. Nothing is clear during Mercury retrograde whatsoever. But you're going to have to be clear. You're going to have to stand your ground on what it is that you desire for you. Card of inspiration. You're keeping yourself busy through all the hectic stuff that's going on. You're finding ways to move forward. Like I said, even though you may be in a period of waiting, you're like, if I have to put this all on hold, I'm still going to keep moving forward. And you may be getting a lot of clarity and insight and fruitful ideas as this occurs of other ways to make things happen. I think you're going to see things happen again in ways you didn't expect. So expect the unexpected, and whatever perception you had, it may completely, just with that tower that I seen earlier, gives me the indication. I kind of got like the heebie-jeebies when I say to you that I feel like you look back even 2 months from now, or after September, so what, like November-ish, and nothing is as you thought it was going to be, even yesterday. It's going to be very, very different for all of you, but very, very different than where you're at right now. Spirals of manifestation. Be careful of what you're manifesting, because it's coming. Whatever it is that you're manifesting, the wheel is spinning. It is spinning to help you get to where you are. Prayers, answered prayers. So if you've been praying and you've been, trying to see things differently, if you're trying to get that heart space to move forward, I feel like the wheel in the heart space is slow to turn. But what you're manifesting is going to come. Your prayers will be answered in due time. But be cautious of what you're praying for. It's one of those, be careful what you wish for. Free from judgment and free to love. And you may be finding in a space where if you're having guilt or carrying guilt or pain from the past, that you're no longer being so damn hard on yourself, and you're willing to move forward into something beyond where you've been. Wow, what a reading. Holy shit. So guys, this is going to be your September reading. I hope September treats you well. Stay the course of what it is that you need to do. It's really about what you're manifesting, what's brought you to this point. So choices, manifestations, be mindful, and if you have to take that pause, take that pause. Mercury retrograde is probably the best time there is to take a pause, because that way shit doesn't get any more fucked up than it already is, right? So, all right, guys, on that note, if you found this video resonates for you, hit that like button. It certainly helps the channel. Please subscribe. Again, helps circulate the channel and get the messages out to those who need to hear it, and you're going to get a notification every time a new video is posted. I thank you guys. I hope September treats you well. I'm sending you all of my love and light. Take care. Bye-bye.